This broadcast is for April 15, 2026, Japan time. Welcome to Samurai MLB Talk. Thank you very much for watching. This channel is a place where we explore the essence of humanity through the lens of baseball, through the way we watch the game, the spirit behind it, and the philosophy it reflects from a uniquely Japanese perspective. To our viewers in the English-speaking world, I truly hope you'll enjoy this dialogue about human nature as seen through the game of baseball. Your support means more than I can say. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Part 1, Highlights of Japanese Athletes on April 15, 2026, Japan time. On the 15th, Japan time, Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs started as the number 5 right fielder in the game against the Phillies. The team won with a score of 10-4. Seiya Suzuki managed 1 hit, but he also struck out 3 times, leaving some concerns about his current form. In particular, it was quite worrying to see him strike out swinging 3 times when he had significant opportunities at the plate. If they had been called strikes, there might still be some expectation for his eye, but since they were 3 strikeouts where he was actively swinging, there may be some change occurring in his batting mechanics. Although he recorded a hit in the 9th inning, the contact wasn't great, and it felt more like he got lucky as the ball dropped into right field. I am not sure if fatigue is a factor, but it seems he will need to make some adjustments to his hitting. Masataka Yoshida of the Red Sox played as the number 3 designated hitter against the Twins. The team lost 0-6. Yoshida performed well, recording 2 hits. Regarding Masataka Yoshida, there has been much debate among fans about how he is being utilized. I will discuss this in more detail later in the broadcast. Kazuma Okamoto of the Blue Jays played as the number 7 third baseman against the Brewers. The team won 9-7. Kazuma Okamoto performed excellently with 2 hits and 1 RBI. Recording an RBI for the first time in 10 games is very significant. This match gave the impression that we are finally seeing the kind of performance typical of Kazuma Okamoto. I believe it is important for him to continue this kind of performance from today onward. Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox started as the number 3 first baseman. The team lost 5-8. Munetaka Murakami had 2 walks and 1 home run. Since the previous game, Munetaka Murakami had been hitting fly balls to the outfield, suggesting his condition was gradually improving. In today's game, he hit outfield flies in the 5th and 7th innings, and seeing the ball travel to the outfield made me expect something soon. Then, in his 5th at-bat in the 9th inning, he brilliantly launched a 2-run home run into right field, his 5th of the season. In this at-bat, Munetaka Murakami was aggressive from the first pitch, going for a full swing. The first and second pitches were fastballs at 94 miles per hour. While he swung and missed the first one, he caught the second one perfectly and sent it into the right field stands. It was a magnificent piece of hitting. Results like this come when he swings aggressively, so I hope Munetaka Murakami continues to swing proactively from the first pitch in the next game, regardless of the situation, as long as it is a hittable ball. Pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto of the Dodgers started against the Mets. He pitched 7 2/3 innings, allowing only 1 run in a superb performance. Although he gave up a lead-off home run to Linder of the Mets in the first inning, his pitching after that was flawless. It is common for Yoshinobu Yamamoto to give up a hit early on, but his pitching after conceding a run is beyond reproach. It was masterful. I felt that the peerless Yoshinobu Yamamoto is very much alive and well this season. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers played as the number 1 designated hitter. Although he had no hits, he was intentionally walked in his final at-bat, extending his consecutive on-base record to 48 games. There were no hits today, but there is no reason to be pessimistic. His outs today were actually very good. I will explain this in detail later. Part 2, regarding the management and utilization of Masataka Yoshida. On April 14, Japan time, Full Count reported that there has been criticism from fans in both Japan and the US regarding how Masataka Yoshida of the Red Sox is being utilized. The article highlights fans' voices concerning his management, with comments such as, "He should be in the starting lineup, a waste of talent, he's in good shape, so use him. It makes no sense, why won't they play him, they should trade him. And I can't accept how Yoshida has been sidelined for years, it's frustrating." In this broadcast, we refer to the situation as the price of a high-priced contract. The first thing Japanese players must do when playing in MLB is to adapt to the differences from NPB. Everything is a new experience: the style of baseball, the environment, the travel, the opposing teams, and the characteristics of the opposing pitchers. An MLB career starts with getting used to all of this. Therefore, this program advocates that players should not sign for high amounts when negotiating their initial MLB move. Money is something that follows later. The most important thing for a Japanese player to prioritize in contract negotiations is securing playing time. Whether it is a 2-year or a 4-year contract, the length varies by player, but regardless, a ball player cannot achieve anything or express themselves without being on the field. Even to showcase your skills, it becomes difficult to demonstrate your true ability if you are not adjusted to the environment. For this reason, when Japanese players challenge the MLB, they should focus their negotiations on gaining opportunities to play rather than signing high-value contracts. Agents will likely dislike this. The higher the contract amount, the higher the agent's commission. Naturally, agents strive to win the highest possible deal. However, such contracts can wait until after the player has proven they can consistently perform in the MLB. First, adapting to the MLB environment is the top priority. Once you have adjusted and created a situation where you can showcase your talent, you can demand a high-priced contract in subsequent negotiations. I strongly believe that the first contract when moving from Japan to America to challenge the MLB should be structured to ensure playing time. Masataka Yoshida started his MLB career after signing a high-priced contract with the Red Sox. That was a major mistake. Yoshida has an excellent hitting sense. He is a player worthy of a high-priced contract. However, that worth was based on his achievements in the NPB, and in a situation where his performance in the MLB was uncertain, he should have signed for a smaller amount to secure more playing time. By doing so, he would have had numerous opportunities to play until he got used to MLB baseball. Naturally, once he adapted and could demonstrate his true ability, he would be given more opportunities than the contract required, and he could then demand a high amount for his next contract. Specifically for a position player like Yoshida, he must respond to the balls thrown by MLB pitchers. He must get used to the differences between NPB and MLB pitchers. For a hitter, returning a ball thrown by an opponent is a highly sophisticated task. Even if a pitch from an NPB pitcher and one from an MLB pitcher are both 96 miles per hour, the quality and power of the ball are completely different. One must get used to that ball and become able to hit it back. I feel that Yoshida skipped that stage and signed a high-priced contract, which has led to his current situation. Originally, Yoshida needed a period to adjust. However, he started his MLB career with the expectation that he could naturally perform the same way he did during his time with the Oryx Buffaloes or during the 2023 WBC. The MLB is the highest stage of baseball in the world. It is not that easy to adapt. Even the unicorn, Shohei Ohtani, struggled with his hitting when he first debuted in the MLB. Although Yoshida was a great hitter who excelled in the NPB, the content of the game is entirely different between the NPB and the MLB, even if it is the same sport. Understanding this, I think it would have been better if Yoshida's first contract with the Red Sox had been limited to a few hundred million yen, a few $1,000,000, to ensure he got playing time. He should have had his agent understand the need to get used to the MLB and prioritized securing opportunities through a low-value contract. I believe that is the first step toward success for a Japanese position player in the MLB. By skipping the adjustment process and signing a high-priced contract, I think Yoshida has found himself in a position where he cannot move freely. To be honest, the Red Sox do not seem to need Yoshida that much anymore. The proof is that he is frequently in and out of the starting lineup. While the Red Sox likely want to trade him, because Yoshida is on such a high contract, other teams find it difficult to step forward and take him. The Red Sox want to let him go, but there is no one to take him. It feels as though their stance has become to use Yoshida only when they want to rest a primary player. This means Yoshida is no longer a priority player for the team. Knowing how good his hitting sense is, the current situation is truly heartbreaking. However, as long as he has a high-priced contract, if he doesn't perform at a level that matches it, this kind of situation is inevitable. I think this serves as a cautionary example. At the end of last season, Yoshida improved his batting form, becoming conscious of the bat's entry angle during his swing, and he began to grasp how to make his hitting work in the MLB. However, it was already too late. Until then, he had many opportunities, but because he couldn't capitalize on them, the Red Sox stopped viewing him as a core player. I believe the current situation is a reflection of that. His hitting sense is top tier, and I am sure he would contribute to the team's victory if he were played consistently. However, for the Red Sox, replacements for Yoshida are already available, and it feels like there is no longer a place for him on the team. The reality is that his high contract has become a bottleneck, making him untradeable and leaving him in a state of being sidelined. I expect more great Japanese hitters to challenge the MLB in the future, but they should learn from this case of Masataka Yoshida. When signing the first MLB contract, do not sign for a high amount. For the first MLB contract, one should proceed with negotiations focusing on securing playing time, even if the amount is low. Otherwise, there is a possibility of following in Yoshida's footsteps. Since pitching is an action initiated by the player themselves, I think it is fine for Japanese pitchers to sign high-priced contracts even for their first MLB deal. Yoshinobu Yamamoto signed a high-priced contract and is fully meeting expectations. Regarding position players, it requires the highly sophisticated task of hitting back a ball thrown by an opponent. Therefore, it is desirable to initially set the contract amount low, secure a period to get used to the MLB, and ensure playing time. Yoshida's current circumstances are pitiful, but there is nothing that can be done now. He should leave the Red Sox as soon as possible, but the high contract is a bottleneck, leaving him in a stalemate. To see Masataka Yoshida's hitting every game, he has no choice but to change teams and secure playing time. I only hope that such a day arrives soon. Part 3, Shohei Ohtani is regaining his true form. Although Shohei Ohtani had no hits today, all of his outs were directed from center to the left side of the field. A line drive to left, a grounder to short, and a fly ball to left. We saw many of Shohei Ohtani's natural hitting directions. I feel this is a very good sign. Since hitting a home run off DeGrom's heavy fastball, I think his swing timing had become slightly rushed. Because of that, even when he thought he had timed it well, he wasn't quite finishing the job. However, today's outs, especially the two that flew to left, will surely bring good results to his hitting from tomorrow onward. In particular, Shohei Ohtani will be the starting pitcher in the next game. While I will be watching to see what kind of pitching he shows against the Mets lineup, I also have high expectations for a home run because his natural hitting is returning, and the ball is starting to fly towards center and left. His hitting condition will surely improve as we head into May. As a pitcher, I'm sure he will show us a performance that overpowers the opposing hitters. I believe that this season, Shohei Ohtani will achieve career-high results in both pitching and hitting as a two-way player. I am looking forward to Shohei Ohtani's performance in the next game. That is all for today. Thank you very much.